What is going on, chat man? We are back, and today we're reacting to LeBron gets eviscerated by everyone for the ring culture comments. This was highly anticipated and highly recommended. As you guys know, we've been reacting to classic NBA content, and we've been reacting to Michael Jordan content, and even crazier, we've been reacting to LeBron's moments that are not really too covered by the media, like his flop montage, him quitting on his teammates, which I've never seen as a LeBron fan. It made me kind of like, you know, kind of look out more. I've never seen LeBron leave the court early or anything. You guys can go check that out on my other videos. But today, we have LeBron saying, rings don't matter. And, this is a lot of people's opinions on that. So, with that being said, let's get straight into the video. And if you guys are new to my channel and you like classic NBA content, or old NBA content, man, hit the subscribe button, man, to join the crew. But with that being said, let's get straight into the video. Yes, sir.
And I think for him, right, it's hypocritical.
I feel like everyone kind of plays to win until you actually realize you're not going to win, But either or, you're still playing for just to prove yourself, right? Sharply shading, like he's going full on in shading LeBron. And that's kind of facts, though. He did kind of leave to ring chase, which is kind of crazy. So he's trying to switch it up. That's what he's trying to do. Like, he's really trying to switch up the fact that he already won. And, it's not really that much of a big deal when he hasn't actually reached Jordan, maybe. I feel like that's what it is. And maybe he's trying to backtrack and say it doesn't matter.
Problem with ring culture. He has a problem with more rings culture. Because LeBron has curated his...
He kind of spitting something. Maybe LeBron just wants more rings. That's why he's saying it doesn't count.
His career around ring culture. Because if he didn't, LeBron James never goes to South Beach.
Fact.
He went to South Beach because he understood that as individually dominant as he was nothing without those rings.
Fact.
And what's funny also, too, about LeBron is the fact that he's talking about the accumulation of something when that's the exact argument that all of his fans, all of the people that say he is the greatest, use. His accumulation of points over a certain amount of time, accumulation of assists, accumulation of rebounds. The reason he's pointing out the more rings culture is because he hasn't accumulated more rings than the person that he's chasing. And so if I can get out and debunk the fact that it's about how many rings you get as long as you have one, or if I can get out and debunk the fact that we're not having a conversation about how much you elevated your team in the most important moment, just about how good you were, right? Because when you bring up Barry Bonds, it's like, let's not think about whether or not he won a championship. Let's say he was the greatest ever, which all baseball players agree to, right? Like he brought up Dan Marino. Yeah, we know Dan Marino could spin it, but Dan Marino never lifted his team to a championship, so we speak about him differently than we talk about Tom Brady.
That is facts. The rings matter so much because it literally says, did you make the finish line? No, pause. But, like, did you make the finish line? Are you going crazy? Like, come on.
And let's not forget that part of greatness is showing up in the most important moments.
Facts.
The most important moments are playoffs and championships. And that is the reason that you get to be, whether it's in the top 5 or a top 3 or a top 2, or you get to be the GOAT, is because in the most important moment, as individually great as you were that great or better when it counted most. And so LeBron James is extremely intelligent. He knows that if now he comes out and says, hey, it's not about how many rings you accumulate, it's about how you played individually. Now, all of his fans, his people that say he's the GOAT can point to those numbers as long as you don't point to the...
Because he's the role model. So if he says something, everyone's going to listen. Like, that's just what it is. Like, everyone's going to automatically assume whatever LeBron says is right. Because the people look at LeBron just how people looked at Jordan back then, which is absolutely crazy.
Amount of rings that somebody won, because that's the conversation or argument that he can't win. And I think for him, right? For him, it's
Because you
hypocritical. Shaped your career early on around winning championships because you knew championships could make you the GOAT. You even said, when I came back 3-1 against the Warriors, that made
I
me the
knew I
GOAT
was a
because I
goat.
won that championship. Now, all of a sudden, because maybe there's a fear you won't win another one, championships or amount of championships don't matter.
You are beyond wrong, Wendy. You're not even close to being right on this one. Not. I'm sorry. No way in hell. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, you brought up LeBron and the rings. Okay, who's devalued LeBron? See, that's the BS that we have to stop letting him and his camp get away.
Lots of people have.
Once again, no. Excuse me. When we talk about the GOAT, because he's not in a lot of people's eyes. It's Michael Jordan. That is it. Everybody recognizes him as a 4-time champion. Everybody universally recognizes him as one of the top 3 players in the history of basketball. What the hell else do you want? A diaper and a bib? What do you want? Do you want us to feed you some applesauce or something? My God, what more can you do? Other than saying
This guy Steven, this is actually like going straight at him, bro.
he's not the GOAT, he's number 2 or number 3 if you want to put Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's resume in there. What else is there? There's nothing else to deny him. And everybody recognizes that. It's factually incorrect when they walk around acting like he's been devalued. It is not true. It is not true. Now, let's get to the point that you and I do agree about. If it didn't mean much or should it mean much, well then, why were you so relieved to finally have one? Why did you depart Cleveland to go to Miami and join forces with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade to get one? Why did you depart from there to go back to Cleveland? Because LeBron only went back to Cleveland for one reason: to resurrect his reputation and his...
That kind of makes sense. If he went back to Cleveland to go win a championship to like make himself look good again in Cleveland, he kind of cooked with that. I'll be completely honest. That 3-1 championship, like we can't even take that away. That was a greatness right there.
Stature, because it wasn't that he departed from Cleveland, it's that he didn't deliver the chip when he departed. So he went back to erase a more than half-century curse on that area in professional sports because they hadn't captured what? A championship. So in other words, he understood it in departing for Cleveland to go to Miami. He understood it in departing from Miami to go back to Cleveland. He understood it when he arrived in Tinseltown with the Lakers, that stars, superstars who wore the purple and gold, he couldn't be the one person that didn't capture a championship. He had to get at least one. But now that you've got it, all of a sudden, you really don't understand why it's of so importance. It's nonsense. He understands why, but let me take it to a level he's not going to take it to.
Oh my God, he's actually spitting holy facts right now, chat. Like genuinely, he's actually spitting facts.
That most of us, Doggy, myself, and many others would. Once upon a time, Wendy, you know this, the endorsement dollars, the sizzle, the shine, and all the monetary compensation that came your way because of it was courtesy for championships. You weren't getting that kind of shine when you weren't winning. If you didn't win anything, it wasn't coming to you like that. What happened is that we've been able to use championships as validation for the shine that you receive. Because without it, you just see a lot of cats getting a lot of money. Why is that a problem? It's a problem because on too many occasions, I'm not talking about on the court, because I would never accuse a player of being lackadaisical on the court. They show up on the court and they give you effort.
Okay.
I'm talking about the commitment that LeBron gives, that he's revered for, along with many others, and what they bring to the table off the court. In the off season, are you constantly working to improve your craft and to elevate your level of play? The audience needs to see that. And validation is an insatiable appetite for the chip. If you don't have an appetite for the chip...
This guy, Stephen A. Smith, can genuinely speak. Like, he wants to get this, like, over with. This GOAT debate, he hates it. I can just tell. Oh my gosh.
And you're laissez-faire about it. And it's okay, I didn't win. All right, so be it. It's all right. There's more things to life. The audience ain't going to like that. The patrons ain't going to want to patronize your product, your brand, et cetera, because the emotional investment they place in you, the reward that they expect to receive at the very least is a passionate approach to you in pursuit of excellence. And
Facts.
excellence is defined by winning. You talk about we don't remember number two. You know who we do remember other than winners? People who really, really sucked, who were really, really horrible, that really, really didn't care along the way. Oh, we remember them too. And when you're trying to capture championships and you're in tireless pursuit of it, that's what the people want to see. That's where they feel like their emotional investment and their monetary investment in you is paid back to them. So when you say why you don't know why championships don't mean, let me tell you something to somebody who knows Allen Iverson as a reporter better than me, bro. Let me tell y'all something right now. If Allen Iverson could have did a lot of things better off the court, there is no
Yeah.
question about that. Practice habits, conditioning, etc. I got that part. But the reason why he's beloved by the city of Philadelphia and revered by the basketball world is that at 6'1", 160, he used to go up against giants.
Yeah, and he used to torch them. Chat, let me know if you guys want to react to Allen Iverson. I've seen a couple of clips, and I know how, important he is to NBA history. I just never watched his highlights. Let me know if you guys want me to react to that.
And played to the death every single damn game. And when you saw that, you knew it wasn't because of him. You knew it was because of what he was lacking, meaning pieces around him. Because if Shaq in his prime and Kobe weren't standing in his way, Allen Iverson would have captured the championship.
Yep.
And everybody knows that. That's what you're looking for when you're watching. That's why championships mean it's not the actual ring, it's the pursuit of it and a commitment to going for it.
Nobody says Charles Barkley's not amazing. Nobody says Allen Iverson's not amazing. Nobody says Dan Marino's not amazing. But Barkley isn't MJ, and Marino's not Brady, even though he was more talented. And the reason is the trophies. And LeBron knows that. LeBron has no chance to win a trophy with the current Laker roster. So
I'm going to be honest. He's completely right. But maybe he could win. I feel like if Allen Iverson was able to take his team to the finals, there's no way LeBron can't take his team to the finals right now. Allen Iverson's team wasn't that nice. Right, chat?
now they don't matter. He spent his entire career pursuing titles. You think he went to Miami to lay on the beach? He went there for Riley and Spoelstra and a better owner and a better roster. He didn't go west. He stayed in the weak East to keep getting to finals. LeBron pursued finals and Michael 6 for 6 for years. He's talked about idolizing Michael. What's the stat? What stat do we talk about with Michael? If I said to you, how many total points did Michael score? You don't know.
I don't know.
How many division titles did Michael win? You don't know.
I don't know.
How do you do in the finals? 6 for 6. That's his number.
I feel like that's all you need to know. If somebody goes 6 for 6 in the finals, you just know that they were generationally too good. Because that's already a hard tactic to do.
Right? That's his number. And so, and he's been doing this for years, playing this angle. It's projecting, it's straw man argument. And I love LeBron. I really do. I like the people around LeBron. So back when he knew he had a chance to win several more, the ring mattered. Because he was still back then, hey, can he surpass Michael and get to 6, 7, 8? Now he can't. Now rings don't matter. Rings absolutely are the difference. Dan Marino.
That kind of is true. When he noticed he couldn't get it, he started acting like it doesn't matter. Oh.
Was bigger, stronger, and more talented than Brady. Brady got the trophies. That's the difference. Favre was more athletically talented than Brady. Brady got the trophies. Aaron's probably more gifted. Josh Allen is. Brady's got the trophies. Nobody's saying that Marino or Josh Allen aren't talented. I think Josh Allen's the most talented football player in the world. But Mahomes has the trophies. And we can contextualize it why they matter. I'm not a huge Brock Purdy fan, but if he had 2 trophies, I'd have to acknowledge he's a different player. He's just better than I think. So it does matter.
It
and
does.
Michael and LeBron knows it matters.
Why don't you tell us your thoughts on rings culture. Take a listen.
Funny, I don't know. I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the A-all, B-all of everything. You sit here and tell me, you know, Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley and Steve Nash, our wasn't unbelievable. Like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with these guys just because this guy won 1 ring or won 2 rings or won, like, it's just weird to me. It's like saying Peyton Manning.
Like, you can get that at a certain point, but it just doesn't make sense. Like, rings determine so much, man.
Can't be in the same room with Brady or Mahomes because he only has 1 ring. They don't never discuss that in their sport.
Right.
Or telling me that Dan Marino is not the greatest slinger of all time. Or he can't be in the room with those guys because he didn't win a championship. They don't discuss those things.
Once again, if he had enough rings to be considered the greatest, it would be okay. This is a typical LeBron. He doesn't feel like he's going to get there, and that's going to be held against him, so now he's going to downplay the ring. If it wasn't about that, LeBron, and if Steve Nash had any kind of...
Stop expecting him to
okay? No, if he had anything, then I would have said, LeBron, why did you leave Cleveland and go to Miami? Chasing rings.
Cleveland!
You're the one who did it. You're the one who ran away. You're the one who put together a super team so that you could win rings. You were the one who were afraid not to win a championship. As great as you were as a player.
Not 2, not 3.
That's right.
Not 4,
now he's saying,
not
listen
5,
to this.
Not 6.
Is he talking
not
about
7.
being a great
and when I
player?
say that,
He's
I
talking
really
about
believe it.
winning rings because that's what he wanted to win. Such a phony. I'm so tired of hearing this.
Wow.
On one hand, he's talking about, I don't know why we're talking about rings or whatever.
This guy is mad right now.
He's the one. Kelvin, that wasn't somebody imitating him. He's the one talking up about 7 rings. He's the one who left Cleveland, his hometown, and went to go chase rings in Miami. He's the one who keeps leaving, who came to L.A. to chase rings. Because he looked at Michael Jordan. And if you look at Michael Jordan's career and you think it's just about rings, you're mistaken. Michael Jordan was a great player, led the league in scoring 10 times. I could go over and over the all-time leading scorer in the postseason. It was more than just the 6 rings. This whole notion. And if Steve Nash had anything, he could have said, LeBron, Peyton did win 2 championships. Well, Peyton only got 1.
Yeah,
they don't even know.
He forgot that Denver one.
Yeah, exactly. But my point is, this is total garbage on LeBron's point. On part? The only reason if LeBron had 8 or 10 rings, you think he would be talking about the number of rings people counting? Of course he would.
He wouldn't.
Would not. Such a phony. I'm so tired of hearing guys make an excuse when it doesn't fit their narrative. He has to be able to talk about longevity and all this other stuff to be able to be considered great.
That longevity got to get out the door, bruh. Like, I feel like anyone could play longevity, though. If you really think about it, like, anyone can if they wanted to.
Not that you have to win a
if you're in the
ring
NBA,
to be
though,
great.
Maybe.
Okay? You can be a great player. I'll sit here and tell you Charles Barkley was a great player. Steve Nash won 2 MVPs. No one's going to say he wasn't a great player in the NBA. But when you talk about the greatest of all time, I don't know of anybody who's the greatest of anything who didn't win at some point in their life. Dan Marino was a hell of a quarterback. I'm going to sit here and tell you he's the best quarterback ever, and he never won? Come on, man. Nobody. How many times do I have to bring up Marv Levy? He went to 4 straight Super Bowls as a coach.
Not 3.
4. Not one time have I ever heard anybody say Marv Levy's the greatest coach in NFL history. You know why? Because he didn't win. That's why we keep score. That's why we hand out trophies. It does matter. Stop trying to say that winning doesn't matter. It does matter when you're talking about putting somebody ahead of everybody and saying they're the greatest that ever did something. That's all I'm saying.
LeBron's slick, and I think everyone's missing the point here because this right here is being presented as a, hey, look out for the little guy. Look out for Nash and Iverson and Marino and all the guys who don't get their rightful place in history because they didn't win. This is about reframing the GOAT conversation with Michael Jordan because he's passed Jordan in virtually every statistical category that matters except the championships. So now what do we
That is kind of true though too. That's kind of the weird thing about the GOAT conversation if you really think about it. Like Jordan kind of passed like no, I mean LeBron kind of passed Jordan in basically everything but championships. And I feel like championships is the biggest thing. So if you really kind of like if you're really not a basketball fan, you probably get tripped up and you'll probably get tripped up just by statistics, which is absolutely crazy, man.
do? We start politicking that championships aren't as valuable. Hey, look, it's a team concept. My team hasn't been there to put me over the top to get there with Jordan. I don't know why we talk about rings so much. It's not about rings. Let's look at the individual glory. For example, I'm the all-time leading scorer. It's a chance to reframe. It's very slick. It's very slick.
But those are the rules. It's like my rules. Hey, I'm in the Hall of Fame, but I'm in a different wing than the guys who won the championship. I mean,
Still in the Hall of Fame, though.
I know, yeah, but I'm saying though, Jack, hey, I understand. I understand the rules. Like Charles are great, Karl Malone's great, Patrick Ewing's great. They're not at the table with Magic, Bird, LeBron, Kobe. It's levels to this shit. And I ain't mad at that. I understand that. Now, if I could have won a championship, I can go across the room. But the rules are the rules. We have to play by the rules. And this ain't got nothing with motherfuckers on TV who get paid to talk shit. We talking about players.
Right.
Facts.
We talking about players. We understand, like, yeah, hey, I'm not at the table with Bird, Imagine those guys. Hey, yeah, am I a great player? Yes, I am. I understand that. But there are levels and there's tables to this thing.
LeBron just keeps digging a hole deeper and deeper and deeper.
Okay, gosh, I know LeBron's taking a hole deeper and deeper, but you gotta start off with that. Come on, bro.
Obviously, I'm
Come
not
on.
in agreement with his whole thing about ring culture and how it doesn't matter.
Facts.
I mean, a lot of this is just common sense. But I'm happy that everybody can just see through LeBron's plot here. You know, to try to make it seem as though rings don't matter and only stats matter.
Facts. Because it's not
So
true.
that, you know, because he has all the stats, then he'll be looked at as the GOAT.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm happy that everybody peeped his game and called him out on it, exposed him.
I kind of feel bad for LeBron because he probably didn't think it was going to backfire on him this bad, but hey, it kind of really did. And it's kind of crazy that he really does think that though, chat. Like, genuinely. Wow.
Because we all know that there's one GOAT. And we all know, right, that Kobe's ahead of LeBron and Kareem, Tim Duncan, Shaq, and a
I don't know about Kobe or Tim Duncan or Shaq, but
whole bunch of other guys. Right, so this case that he's making due to longevity, not going to fly. Okay? I mean, basketball, it was made to be played to win. So the winners are obviously the greatest. Here's what it is. If you're the GOAT, you got to find a way to pull out at least 80% of your championships,
facts.
70% of your wins,
Facts.
if you claim to be the GOAT. Right? You can't tell me that every time there's teams or dynasties or whatever that were built that you could not overcome.
Facts.
Okay? Because I keep on telling people that when Steph, Clay, and Draymond beat him the first time, they didn't have a title, but he did. Always remember that. He had a title, and they didn't have a title. They were not a dynasty, right, when they beat him. They did not have 2 or 3 titles.
But all of his like key players were injured though, so it was completely not fair of a finals.
When they beat him. And always remember that it could have been worse. Okay? So for all you,
And by the way, LeBron was the leading scorer of that whole series, so he completely dominated everyone with that. So it wasn't even fair. And then the next 2 years after that, actually, they had a whole dynasty. Actually, the next 3 years, he won the year at the next year. Then the 2 years after that, they had Kevin Durant, and it was completely not fair of a finals. If you guys actually think that, that's kind of crazy.
you talking about how LeBron overcame and exceeded all these expectations at 4-6. What did he exceed?
Yeah, you can't even excuse that though. That 4-6 record is absolutely insane. But I feel bad for the guy because he did go against the Warriors.
All right, according to my calculations that I've done, LeBron, right, did what he was expected to do. Because I rate winning championships. LeBron has 4, Kobe has 5, Jordan he has 6. They all faced various challenges on their way to winning those titles.
Facts.
And it was up to you as a great player to overcome those challenges, whatever they may be. And just because you were not able to do it, all right, to the way that you wanted to do it, all right, that's not on us. That's on you.
Wow.
So that's about it. So until next time.
Chat, we gotta talk about this. I'm not gonna lie. We reacted to LeBron saying this, but we didn't react to people saying like their opinion on LeBron saying this. And honestly, that was probably the most craziest thing ever. I genuinely didn't expect people to flash out this way on LeBron. Because he is wrong, but people actually called him out. Cause bro, that was an insane statement. But let me know down below what you guys think. But unfortunately, this is the end of the video, chat. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, man, and recommend me some more stuff to react to. But with that being said, I'll catch y'all next time, yes sir.